Hey, ladies and gentlemen, good night, good night. How you doing? Alright, so it's your brother Bolo V&R. We are the 2.0 platform, and I have no time to waste, ladies and gentlemen. You see the title of the video: Nigel, Clarke, and Holness exposed as delusional. They have lost their mind. What I heard, or the parts of it that I heard, of what there was this farewell tour or farewell goodbye Nigel Clarke BS. I did a video about them before, him going to the IMF, and I was very clear of what I think about it and what I think about him and these two individuals. They are two house slaves. They are the house slaves that keep the field slaves under bondage. They go back and tell the slave master, "Oh, this is what we got to do to keep them in check. You got to know how to do this, and don't worry, boss. I got it, boss." And what I seen in Parliament yesterday, and what I've heard in Parliament yesterday, even members of the PMP was giving Nigel Clarke props. Man, listen, all you guys are doing is exposing yourself and making the UIC right about what they said about both you guys, both the PMP and the JLP. That is exactly what you guys are doing. When I see you tell us and try to convince us that Nigel Clarke somehow did some good thing for the Jamaican economy while he was with this, what? Where, how, Sway, when the majority of the Jamaican people, they not seeing it, they not feeling it, it's not tangible, he ain't did ish. Alright? More than allegedly both of these two house slaves benefited themselves by raising up the amount of money that they make to 200 to 300%. Oh, they pockets fat. Their slave master that they're working for pockets is fat, right? But the people that matter, the people that really count, mum's the word, right? So let's play this BS, man. These two delusional, wicked ass house slaves, that was in Parliament yesterday. Let's play this bullshit. Lord have mercy. I mean, I don't even want to talk no more. Y'all just listen to this bullshit, bro. Lord have mercy.
Dr. Andrew Michael Holness, Prime Minister of Jamaica.
Dr. my ass. Pause.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, colleagues. My friendship with, and Mr. Speaker, may I ask for the privilege of addressing the member by name?
You do have the privilege, member.
With the concurrence of the members. My friendship with Nigel is over 20 years old. And the friendship is based on clearly mutual respect, mutual interest, but also a similar...
What kind of mutual interest? Rob up taxpayer money? I'm just asking. What kind of mutual interest in the friendship be?
Outlook and a shared philosophy. We have a mind share on many issues. In fact, as younger men looking on at the challenges of the country at the time,
What you mean at the time? So what you say? Jamaica now have no challenges now? You don't see them people that take people with some big old boo-boo. You don't see what go on? Jamaican people don't really swallow this nonsense, yeah? What you mean at the time? Who that just ad live in our background? Hey, go sit on one side, you know. You know, some not even to interrupt a video, but you know me I put up them clown arms sitting there. Yo right now I shouldn't even know me vex. 2 words inside already. I look at Nigel Clarke around I come smiling in our background. After I come sell out Jamaica. Hey, them man have a charge for treason, you know. Only think I joke me I make.
We developed, Mr. Speaker, a kind of roadmap of solutions to the country's problems. The question was, how do we get these set of policies implemented?
Well, the advertisement already.
Mr. Speaker, the opportunities came when
share live, guys. Share live.
The first time around. it was too short-lived then to have put any of those plans into action. Nevertheless, I had the opportunity, having taken on the position of Prime Minister, to visit the IMF. And I took along with me as my special advisor at the time, Nigel Clarke.
Would you like up live and show live the people? Please.
A profound meeting. It was about to assume the role of Prime Minister. And I went with former Prime Minister Bruce Golding as well. And I'll never forget, in that meeting with the IMF, something that was said, and I won't repeat it here, but the impact of what was said.
I bet you're not going to repeat it here. Eh? I bet you're not going to repeat it. Because I plan up with the blouse and skirts, slave master them, and I mash up Jamaica. And I can go and actually want to do something good for Jamaica. I want to do, hey, actually,
made me realize the depths of the problems that Jamaica was in. And I came back from those meetings with a very sober outlook on Jamaica's prospects. In 2013, the new Minister of Finance also went to the IMF, Dr. Peter Phillips, and he came back and made a similar statement, which was to the effect that the meeting with the IMF was very sobering. Well, though he didn't, he implemented it. The reason why I start my tribute to Nigel at this point is because up until then, Jamaica had a need-hate relationship with the IMF. Not a love-hate, a need-hate. We needed the IMF, but we hated the IMF.
We not like them same way. No well-thinking Jamaican should like the IMF. You shouldn't like no borrower. You need to stop borrowing. If you keep borrowing, you'll never be independent. Damn foolishness. After PJ Patterson done with the IMF, when I gone back to them, hey, you see all, no?
Some of you would remember a former Minister of Finance standing up in this room and saying, bye-bye, IMF. Oh, tata, good, thank you for reminding me. Tata, IMF. And for many decades before, Jamaica's problems were sometimes blamed on the IMF.
Oh, you mean? Oh, so you're defending IMF now? Oh, what do you not be telling them people are all slaves when you listen to this?
We took a different perspective. Nigel and myself. We started from the point of view that our problems are our responsibility. We have agency.
You know, so that brother you know no sense. You that brother you know no sense, you know. Yeah, our problem are our responsibility. But yes, what when outside entity cause a problem? Them is a problem, so you have to move from that problem there. The IMF is not blameless, right? So stop, if your problem is your responsibility, stop borrowing from them. And find some other way, right? Why I look to them for help if your problem or your responsibility? Then be a man then, no man. Be a leader then, no. Shut be a shit. Hey, Pat W. Wagwan.
And we must do what is necessary to put our country on the right track. In 2009, 2010, former Prime Minister Golding also took that view and started the first debt exchange, the first real attempt by Jamaica to address our debt crisis. By 2013,
hear this a man about first real attempt. Hear this a man about first real attempt. Hey. Oh, you pay off all the IMF, and that is not the first real attempt. Him just lie. Means that I pay JLP, but give people them credit, brother. You cannot finish paying off the IMF until the IMF bye-bye. And then you now say that is not the first real attempt to address our debt. But only get up every day and I borrow from this a country and that the country and that the country there and that the country there. Right? And I talk about how much money you have in a reserve when I borrowed money you have in a reserve. You want to favor Kuno to see all the Jamaican people that follow them mad people and then now pre-wagwan. You better wake up, you know, and stop make them people have put veil over on the eye, you know. Like say them do something, you know. And Holness and Nigel Clarke, you know. Them are wicked, you know. Them are wicked. I mean now when I made that ground and talk, them man they are wicked, brother. And it burn me. Oh, the other side, I come big them up couple people. Julian, where them Julian what? Yo, brother, yo, me I tell you, say you want to lose all respect from me. And that make what the UIC president say. Have whole heap of validation that the two party them is no more than them a co-host. Right? And them a rock with each other low key. And I go on like say them a enemy. And the two of them a bring down Jamaica. Zine. And enough people might have vexed when me say that we support PMP. But you can't tell me say Julian or whatever I want name and the next one. We are here talking man talk about it. We get up and I come big up Nigel Clarke on the other side. Right? All you see if Marky G they ever go up on the podium but talk about my big up Nigel Clarke as a friend. All him would have bonoto. Yo, we have a call a spade, brother. I'm telling you something, I'm not PMP or the JLP now. I don't business if you're in the wrong and you're not the right by Jamaican people, me a burn you out. You understand? This over here, so this a page over here, so is not no side page. A right page. And everybody entitled to who they want to support, but me I tell you about me. Me not depend that, brother. Foolishness are foolishness. Nobody on the PMP side no supposed to talk about say, oh, them are going to big up Nigel Clarke. Big up him, hey, yo.
The then Finance Minister, Dr. Peter Phillips, came to that understanding as well, that we need to embrace the challenges that we have. We need to put in place the programs, but more than that, we need to own the IMF program. And so what happened in Jamaica was a shift from saying an IMF program is imposed on us to us embracing an IMF program to the point of establishing the EPOC, the Economic Program Oversight Committee. And I want to give a very fair view of how we have reached where we are, because it is no single administration that has done it. Started under the Bruce Golding administration of 2007 to 2011, continued under the Portia Simpson Miller administration from 2011 to 2015, and it has continued through my administration. We inherited an IMF program, the Extended Fund Facility, which started in 2013. And I appointed Minister Clarke, some of you will remember, as Ambassador Plenipotentiary for Economic Affairs. It was a specific appointment to enable him to deal with our international partners, particularly the international funding agencies. And Minister Clarke worked with them directly to ensure that there was, first of all, an understanding between the government and the IMF, that trust was built, and that there was the assurance of the commitment of the government to carry through the reforms. But it was also important that he was a very good interlocutor in ensuring that the programs were also developed with Jamaica's interests at the forefront. And so we were able to end the EFF with several reviews to go, because we had excelled on those programs, on the EFF, to the point where we could graduate early. Some of you may not recall that we ended the EFF early, and in October 2016, we entered the precautionary standby agreement. That was because of the phenomenal performance of the government in meeting the various benchmarks. So when the opportunity came for Nigel to be appointed the Minister of Finance, that was embraced. And Nigel became the Minister of Finance with a mandate to accelerate the implementation of not just the IMF program.
Oh, so them appoint one field Minister of Education. One Minister of Education will fail, and them appoint the field Minister, Favour Williams, as the Minister of Finance. Only know say them people are scramble. And them talk about bringing back this lady in a government to under investigation for illicit enrichment, and they all a court. Oi, uno wake up, you know? Uno wake up. I'm seeing that a chat about it is about your local representatives. Me now vote for no local representative where I go propel a leader like Andrew Holness to win the election. The system needs to change. We need to vote for local representatives single-handedly, and we need to vote for who wants to be the Prime Minister or the President of Jamaica. It needs to get separated. Because now we are on God's green earth. Should this man be getting a third term or any other term in his life under Jamaica, you remember good. And then if we start limit the term them too. Constitution if it change completely. Big up UIC.
But Jamaica's program of economic reform, the things that we had discussed almost a decade before, we now had the opportunity to have those things fully executed. When we discussed these things 10 years before, the issue was always, we know what to do from a policy perspective, but will we have the political space to do it? That was always the challenge. Will we have the political space? And the political space is not only determined by the arguments in the cabinet. The political space is also determined by the people. What will the people agree to? Will they want to hear about high reserves and reduction in debt? Or do they want to hear about an increase in path or fixing roads or more water? These are the trade-offs that governments face in creating the space, the political space. So you'll hear the Minister of Finance speak about the fiscal space, the revenue room to deliver. But there's also another space, the political space to implement policy and keep on track with policy. And so my commitment when I appointed Minister Clarke as a minister was that we would have the political space. My job is to make sure that the political space is there for the policies to stay on track. And what you're seeing happening now in the transformation of the Jamaican economy is the political space.
What transformation? All on the focus on the macro economy and I tell people about trickle down. And the poor man suffer. All not do I destroy the middle class and the poorer class within the economy. And I come tell people about yo, brother, I want to better wake up in Jamaica.
Giving the wherewithal for policy to be implemented. And now we are seeing the
Ryan Campbell walk one, bro. Not even Warmington, I believe in. Look at Warmington in the background of yarn.
And now we are seeing the dividends.
Watch out. Look at Warmington of yarn. And I try lick the table same time. Could they? Mama. Not even Warmington. Got him. Not even Warmington, I believe him.
Funny, honey.
Eh? I look at Norman Dunn with the patchy ear right there.
Funny.
We own a building and not a bay. We then pay 400 how much thousands of $dollar a month for rate building where empty. Hey, tax administration. And you know say Andrew Holness are him responsible for all this that you know. You understand me? I say finance ministry and the prime minister office are them responsible for them thing then. Hey, I'm not come talk about good prime minister and good finance minister. Yo, no go in and stop lie. Hey, them not gonna stop lying still about people. No stop believe the idiot them and the liar them.
Now, to implement these policies and to secure the political space, it's not an easy task. Because, as some persons will recall, that when governments are faced with a narrowing political space, the response is to say, run with it. It's better to be here figuring out how to solve the problem we create than to be on the outside. So run with it. That is the challenge of a tightening political space. This administration has sacrificed great political capital to ensure that the policies that will yield the long-term and medium-term benefits are implemented. So let's look at some of the things that have changed, the practical things, you know. Since you have mentioned it, remember, we have gone through 9 budgets and we have not increased taxes. Our reserves are at the highest levels they have been in decades.
Hey, honestly, that not increase taxes something there. I want big old trick that Look for Nigel Clarke face. Not even him. Him knows say a lie I tell. And him knows say I mislead the people them. Right? And don't believe nothing when I say in this video. Go do no one research.
We have halved the national debt from 144% of GDP to now what, 74% of GDP. These are real things that have happened to transform our economy under the direction of Minister Clarke.
Hey, you know, then transform the economy. Pressure the poor people and make them suffer and don't make them get no benefits. And the rich people them up top get all of the benefits them. Tax exemption and all them blows and skirt them. It's on the backs of the poor people. That's why everything now in the supermarket and everything raise. And then them are come talk about them are come use hurricane and them something there. Right? And them are come talk about them have buffers. Then where buffer them are do? And you look at hurricane money want to get what they are not even own financial policy we want to take out, insurance policy. I said where the PMP they said how long to get money from. I only want to boast about. Not even $1 when they get from that. It's like a country have to mash up. 100% mash up for you get money from that. I want to pay how much money to it to get yo Jamaica, yo, wanna wake up here, man.
As the Minister of Finance, Minister Clarke presided over legislation to create an independent central bank. It is that independence of the central bank that has made Jamaica probably the only country in the region with a free floating exchange rate.
Want to ask one question, and I definitely ask one question. What is a free floating exchange rate? And is that even something that helps us? Marky G meeting with the diaspora right now. I sent you the link if you want to carry the live. Yeah, man, me see that thing about guess what? My life is about this, bro. You see? So, me not go there for long. Me just deal with this fast and move. You understand? So, me can't get to look upon that right now. On to our next one, you get me? But respect still.
Dr. Clarke spent quite a bit of his own time directly in the formulation of the Fiscal Commission. I think that you would call that one his baby. And the Fiscal Commission is an important institutional legacy that Dr. Clarke will leave behind, because it is the Fiscal Commission that will ensure that even if the political space has narrowed, that the policies to ensure the fiscal sustainability of Jamaica will remain. It is that institution that will take our fiscal affairs out of...
Yo, me can't wait for some real leader can run Jamaica. And just to show you, you see what them a talk about and a boast about? If you just can run rings round it, for wake up the Jamaican people and say, but rot it. Then if they did put the money to this I use here, we couldn't have benefit this much. So then they really when I wrap up the money for you. And so much money then when I wrap up, and the corruption, why we still suffer around here. Right? The nepotism, the cronism, right? I give people contract and I pay them 3 times, 4 times the amount of money where contract value, and I siphon off money in them pocket, allegedly. Don't believe nothing when I'm saying in this video. Go do no one research. Right? These are the things that these governments that have been running Jamaica have been doing for years. Whether you want to say this side are doing more than that side or whatever, that side are this. Yo, watch out, man. Between the two parties, them are them responsible for the state of Jamaica right now. And we're not supposed to have places in Jamaica where don't have water and good road. After so much years of governance between the two parties, them. Floating exchange rate is the regime where, let me read that. Floating exchange rate is the regime where the currency price of the nation is set by the forex market based on supply and demand relative to other currencies. This contrary to a fixed exchange rate. That's why I say, how is that beneficial to us? A fixed exchange rate should be the exchange rate. That's when Jamaica dollar had some power behind it. When we had a fixed exchange rate, if my memory serves me correctly, based off of Mr. Andre Harton said on Parliamentary TV program, it is that the floating exchange rate is the one that gets us in trouble in the FinSAC. Why FinSAC they have to be even formed. You feel what me I deal with? So, me don't know why them are boast about that. Oh, because the Jamaican people they don't understand it. Enough of them now go do no research and actually look it up. So therefore you can keep putting a veil over their eyes. On the better wake up here.
Substantially out of the political domain. You know, Dr. Clarke, Nigel will be credited for, this is something that we should have been doing a long time ago, Nigel, but you did it. You issued the first international financial instrument denominated in Jamaican dollars. This man put Jamaican dollar that we all, some of us, disparage. He put the Jamaican dollar instrument on the international market for people to buy that instrument in Jamaican dollar.
So hold on. Why we should have feel good about that when you don't want to change the whole system over to digital? Hey, the people that take people for idiot, you know. And the man they are not bench, you know. Why nobody never get up and ask him? Why should that be an achievement when on a plan to take the whole freaking Jamaican economy into a digital system where there will be no cash? How is that beneficial to anybody 5 years from now when Nigel Clarke do? It is a fruitless point to make, in my opinion. Big dummy.
Something alright, my wisdom warriors. So
what is this? What is this? I don't believe nothing when I say that this video. I do no one research. This is all for entertainment purposes. May I clown the two clown them?
Yes, that's a legacy, historic.
Historic Marathi, share the life.
One of the challenges, Mr. Speaker, and I'm wrapping up.
Joan, Wagwan, please wrap up. Come tired for
this is something that I would want every Jamaican to appreciate. Whilst the narrowing political space has led to many policy missteps and bad policies implemented, and you can go through them from FinSac to allowing government entities to run up debt, to all kinds of bad policies.
Why you not talk about your party bad policies they will make? Your party perfect. Your party now have trillions of dollars are missing. How you go? How your policies are helping trillions of dollars to stop go missing? Yo, brother.
What we cannot deny as well, that has contributed to the stagnation of the Jamaican economy over the last 50 years, is that we have been hit by natural disasters. Jamaica is vulnerable to natural disasters. And in fact,
hey,
part of the
tell them say we're not gonna use. Me tell them say we're not gonna use the damn natural disaster them to gain sympathy. You listen to this foolishness.
Of debt is as a result of government borrowing to recover from disasters.
Una borrow to recover from disaster, right? I wanna get grants. I wanna get how much millions of dollars. Wanna now give the people them, so they can get help from the damage of the natural disaster due to them house permanently, right? You know much people still not getting help, but who now tell them say if they want government grant them have got take needs. You see them digital currency when you want come give everybody and force on people and not going like say I know mandatory and no force thing. Style on I use. Jamaica no wake up. Don't believe nothing when I'm saying in this video. Go do no one research. Wicked liar them.
I speak about this all the time, but I'm not certain it has filtered into the consciousness of the population. But what this administration has done is to create a new way of managing shocks, whether it is a natural disaster shock, a health shock, or any other economic shock. And that is the creation of fiscal buffers. For the first time, Jamaica is able to put aside resources. But we have also created what is commonly termed as a multi-layered risk mitigation, risk financing system, where you would have seen it in operation. Jamaica hit by burial, and we didn't have to turn to the international community for borrowing or request for extensive aid.
I want to get a portion of money same way. Whole heap of money you want to get. Where the money there? Where is the money, Andrew? Where the money they want to get? In whole heap of millions of US dollars want to get to bail. Where it there?
The key element of that would be the issuance of the catastrophe bond. Jamaica being the first small country to successfully issue a catastrophe bond.
So hold on.
That is the achievement.
The catastrophe bond never did release, brother. So why not talk about full catastrophe bond? It never did release. Right? It damage never enough. I must see one PMP put out there talk about
Of my friend Nigel.
That not nothing to do with Nigel Clarke.
In addition to that, coming out of the IMF agreement and reflecting on the period 2011 to 2015,
Share live, guys. Share
where
live.
not only
Please.
was the
Like
private
and
sector
share.
called upon to take haircuts and to restructure, the workers of the country were called upon to absorb wage freezes in order to prevent the country from going under. The workers of the country did that. And we both, in our conversations, have always recognized that the sacrifice of the workers must be acknowledged and rewarded.
Only
And
rewarded.
therefore, when we came to look at how we're going to treat with the compensation of the workers, we were very favorable towards what
Very favorable, me write it. The only favorability you give on yourself, or you give on yourself a 200 to 300% salary increase. You see what me I talk about? You see how them admit to Jamaica? Jamaica, I want to listen to this again, you know. Me I play that back phone, you know. Yeah, me I go clip up that part specifically. Me want to listen to this again. Hear what the man say.
the achievement of my friend Nigel. In addition to that, coming out of the IMF agreement and reflecting on the period 2011 to 2015, where not only was the private sector called upon to take haircuts and to restructure, the workers of the country were called upon to absorb wage freezes in order to prevent the country from going under. The workers of the country did that. And we both, in our conversations, have always recognized that the sacrifice of the workers must be acknowledged and rewarded. And therefore, when we came to look...
So ladies and gentlemen, you hear that for yourself. You, the workers of Jamaica, did have to hold on for a wage freeze. That means that everything that go up on a suffer. Right? You can't hardly find ends meet. You know the story. Don't it? Right? And what did they do in this period? They find one way to still give for themselves a 200 to 300% increase. At the end of the day, the dog at the top will not suffer. You might go make sure that the mongrel on the bottom is the one them where all the weight to keep up the blouse and skirt building. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't need to understand the power I want to have. I only need to act now. Because these guys will not treat you any better because you have not demanded to be treated any better. Then we fat up for them pay, but not give the teacher them the money they were then supposed to get. On a year. Then we fat up them pay and not give the doctors, the nurses, the money where them forget. On a year. I wanna still I run behind them people here. And I not bell. If you don't under one spell, me don't know what. I must zungu then zungu no. But not this boy right here, so. Thank God say, me have one blouse and skirt, spell repellent. Name common sense. Yeah man, me spray it every day man. Them can't come to me with them nonsense man. You see me? When you wake up and stop allow the man every take on for one big boo-boo. The clown I take uno for clown. Then what that make uno? No one double clown. The man said the people them have to take a wage freeze so the economy no collapse. But yet still, them never take no wage freeze. Them take a wage increase. Me blouse and skirt. Hey, so they better wake up. That me I tell you. I smell the blouse and skirt coffee. I think a piece of safety your son this truck. You know me can't wait for when wake up. You see people in Sri Lanka running or Pakistan running for the president or prime minister house like some ants. I sound if you deal with them, you know. I make them know what time it is, so I'm not going to take no more of the damn sufferation and the wickedness that them are going with. Oh, you can't stay there. Time to make them go and bully you, know. You better wake up. Don't believe nothing I'm saying on this video. This is for entertainment purposes. Haha. LOL. Haha.
At how we're going to treat with the compensation of the workers, we were very favorable towards what has been asked for many administrations before but never done, a compensation review. Now, I must tell you that Dr. Clarke took that one on fully and personally was right there with the unions, right there with the meetings, and $200 billion later. And I want to repeat that point, that the wage bill has increased by that amount of money. Significant. I remember the minister in one of his unique presentation styles came here to try to show how the proportion of the wage bill has increased. I believe you came with an abacus, right? Trying to show the proportion of the wage bill. That will be an enduring legacy as well. I am not saying that it is yet perfect. There are still unfinished ends in that endeavor, which the next minister will be tasked to address. However, Mr. Speaker, Nigel also did some very practical things. Minister Vaz has asked me to convey to you, Nigel, his eternal gratitude for the support you gave in us acquiring, in short order, 275 new buses, which we will get. We have already gotten 100. Well, we have got 175, and the rest is going through the system. So, Minister Mackenzie already thanked you for the garbage trucks. But there are some other important legacies as well, which we must acknowledge. You know, the National Stadium. Built over, 50 years ago. It's the office needs some repair. And within that budget space, Minister Clarke has managed to find a solution to both the financing and the actual improvement and repair work. You will hear more about that. Minister Grange, I'm sure, will tell you more about that. But the development of the Kingston waterfront, the linear park, that will be done. Minister Clarke, working with the World Bank, we have managed to, I believe you signed the loan agreement for that. And there are many other areas, including the development of, I don't like to use the word pipe, because things don't generally come out of the pipeline. That's what here. But we have developed a train line of public-private partnership projects. Over $2 billion US of public-private partnership projects to come, including the expansion of the North-South Highway, the North Coast Highway, and some other major infrastructure projects. You know, Mr. Speaker, there is no doubt that Nigel is a special resource for Jamaica, that he has served with great dignity, poise, and confidence. He was described, the description was meant to be derogatory, but one member called him black royalty. Meant to be, derogatory. But I believe he captured the essence of the man. And I'm very pleased to have been associated with you, Nigel. I'm very happy to have had the opportunity to work with you to get all of what we have accomplished done. I don't believe 90% of the people understand what we have done. It is going to take decades to truly understand. There are many books that we have to write to explain how we sat and talked about what we need to change in Jamaica, what we need to do, and to plan it so that it can happen seamlessly, without disruption. Ministers of Finance and Prime Ministers have to work very closely together, because there will always be opportunity for people to take the action of the Minister of Finance and try to turn it into a problem for the Prime Minister. But that could never happen between us, because we have a very close friendship, but more importantly, a passion for the vision of improving Jamaica. But I've always known that Nigel's skills and his service is not always going to be local in focus. There are other countries that need to benefit from the experience of Jamaica. And it is indeed a distinct honor that that skill resided with us, and we now give that skill to the world. So, Mr. Speaker,
Yo, listen. All me a hear are glazing. He come like him a Nigel Clarke a rub mental baby oil upon them one another. That's all me a hear. This just cringe and weird. Cause I just be a lie me him a tell. You understand what I say? One thing. Tell me one thing.
We now embark on a new phase. What Minister Clarke and I are defined to do, I believe we have largely accomplished it. Now, we have discussed this other phase as well, and we have a plan, and you will see that plan being rolled out in the next term. Now and next term. In the same way, we have transformed the fiscal arrangements. Now, Mr. Speaker, we are going to take the dividends and benefits of that and transform the human resources, the productivity, and the peace and security of the country to finally complete the mission of prosperity for the Jamaican people. I wish my friend Nigel all the best in his endeavors, and I'm certain that his particular skill sets will always be available to the people of Jamaica. God bless you, and good speed on your journey.
5 reasons why I chose to be a primary school teacher in China. Students are more motivated in the classroom, and with the right guidance, they are more engaged in the classroom activities. I wanted to make a visible
Watch you glazing. Bag of clown, brother.
At this time, we will take the reply from the member from Northwest.
Can't wait for this done. Me just want to left. Me upset. Just upset, brother. Bag of clown show this, brother.
My heart is full. Though, Mr. Speaker, you have your constituents and neighbors and friends, but it's a completely different thing when it comes to your peers and, of course, your leader.
Your leader.
First one to this express.
Your leader. Your leader. Hey, come like I cut them people here running. What do you mean by female leader? Andrew Holness is no leader of mine. You understand? He is the Prime Minister of Jamaica. He's just a title, but he's not my leader. A God alone lead me. A man a lead you, Nigel Clarke. No, that's what really I go on. What really I go on? They say this sound cringy. Come like them a profess them undying love for each other.
Embarrassing. He needs some milk.
Remember, so them sign some more agreement, so. You not to trust them, brother.
Express my sincere gratitude and thanks to you first as the leader of this chamber, and to your substantive speaker.
Hey, Aldiana, the way them a talk to them one another, one thing me appreciate them, huh? Yeah, man, in a real life.
Hey, who mess is this?
But him overwhelmed.
Who mess is this?
Over. Me tell you, so me come for clown them today. Nah. You remember good?
To the House Leader and the Leader of Opposition Business. And above all, Mr. Speaker, I want to express thanks to the Prime Minister, my Cabinet colleagues, and my Parliamentary colleagues. As the Prime Minister mentioned, our relationship goes back to the late 1990s when I first returned from studying and working abroad. And he had been a Member of Parliament for 2 years. I followed closely his election from the UK, where I was at the time a graduate student. All three of them, and I wondered, who is this guy? Anyway, I was fortunate when I came back in 1999 to meet Andrew. He was the only parliamentarian member of a small group of people who used to meet on a regular basis to talk about Jamaica and envision a possible future. Wow. And one thing, if you don't know anything about Andrew Holness, one thing that you must know is that he is a persistent person. Yes. Because from then, he was trying to get me to come and do what he's doing. I'll never forget.
In tried to get him to come and do what he's doing. What is he doing? You notice how bland that statement is? Nigel Clarke, what is he doing? Eh? You mean say I try to come get up for do what I do in terms of what? the type of activities them with the Integrity Commission highlight, and that him when I try to come get off it do. What you mean by that, Nigel? What you mean?
Is a persistent person. Because from then, he was trying to get me to come and do what he would. I'll never forget the
emotional damage.
People wanna ask themselves, where he might try if he get if he can do.
going to his constituency with my wife. I was just married, like not even 1 or 2 months, and he invited me to speak at an event in at Tower Hill, exactly, the school. And I went and I gave a presentation, and I came back and said, Nigel, you know, not right now, not right now. But he never gave up. Every couple of years, there'd be another invitation, and I kept on saying no. Like, why don't you serve on my constituency executive? I said, look, I'm focused. If I'm going to get into this thing, I have to have a foundation. Let me focus on what I'm doing. And I must tell you, there were many no's before my first venture, which was to join the Senate. And that was an amazing experience for me. I gained a tremendous amount of respect for Jamaica's arrangements, and with the fact that what I described is that Jamaica has, you know, DNA of an entity tells you what the entity can be. But when you see the DNA at birth, you can't distinguish the DNA of an ant from the DNA of an elephant with the naked eye. But the DNA of an elephant will become an elephant. The DNA of an ant will remain an ant. Well, I like to say my exposure to the Senate back in that 2013 period taught me that Jamaica has elephant DNA. This is a country with the structures, with the constitutional arrangements, with the social cohesion and framework that can go much further than we are today. I.e. the same chassis, the same DNA can take us all the way. This is a country built for much more than we already have.
You know, so, hey, Sassy, hey, the one how you doing? You know, so, I have a problem with elephant, but you look like them have a problem with ants. Ladies and gentlemen, I know say Bible tell us if you research and look and observe the ants. You know what the ants do? The ants work together. In a colony, the ants work together. So it's mighty interesting to bring up an ants analogy right there, so versus an elephant. Like him a try to demean the ants. I believe that is a microcosm of how him view the people in Jamaica. The little man. So them in the parliament are elephant, you know. The people them were are part of the 21 family, the PSOJ, them are the elephant, you know. Right? Are the big dogs them I look pan. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to understand how effective ants can be. You understand? If 1 million ants attack 1 million elephants, well, trust me, a lot more elephant will be going down than the ants them. You know why? Because the ants them can go into places where the elephant cannot defend. Like in your nostrils, in your ears, in your eyes. A swarm of ants can do serious damage. And they're very, very strong too. I just found it mighty strange when we hear him talk about elephant. Why Jamaica not to be ants? Ants gather food before the storm. Ants work assiduously together in cohesion with each other. Unlike the parliament where them back and forth are seen to be back and forth in front of the world and fight each other. So him admire elephant, but he not admire ants. Why he make that comparison there? No, still you know, wanna tell me what I wanna think.
A corrupt government cannot liberate the people. If the head of the stream is corrupt, the entire river will be also.
That 2013 period taught me that Jamaica has elephant DNA. This is a country with the structures, with the constitutional arrangements, with the social cohesion and framework that can go much further than we are today, i.e. the same chassis, the same DNA can take us all the way. This is a country built for much more than we already have. And then what the Prime Minister mentions when he asked me to accompany him to Washington, D.C. when he was about to be Prime Minister, and Prime Minister Golding invited him to meet the heads of those agencies, and I accompanied him. I was quiet in all of those meetings. Yes, absolutely. And it was really shocking. And the Prime Minister was so seized when he came back.
Exactly. Answer very smart and wise. Exactly.
To a 30,000 gathering in Mandeville, and the rest of that is history. But history will record that he told the people of Jamaica the truth. So even though it might be hard to believe today, I much preferred working and supporting in the background due to Andrew Holness. And because of Andrew Holness,
Tired of ads and games too? Check out Hero Wars. It's one of the best ad-free games out there right now. It has
that to project tend to be your most productive years in your early 50s, and to devote that to Project Jamaica has been the privilege of my life. And I thank Prime Minister Holness for the opportunity. It has been a wonderful journey, and we have accomplished a lot with the Parliamentary and the Cabinet team together. Now, it's very important to acknowledge that the best achievements, and the sweetest ones, are the collaborative ones. And there's nothing I've enjoyed more by collaborating with my colleagues in the Cabinet to pursue their policy priorities and to make them a reality. And the role of the Minister of Finance, as practiced in our time, has been an enabler of others. And that often requires, because the capital budget is really the discretionary part of our affairs, and it requires some backward integration. And so what Minister Val spoke about and Minister Mackenzie spoke about, and what was spoken about with Minister Grange and the stadium, and the hospitals with Minister Tufton, and the school improvement project with Minister Williams, and national security with DPM, have been tremendously fulfilling endeavors to pursue. Now, Prime Minister and colleagues, Jamaica enjoys hard-won economic stability, something that we have not had in our country for the better part of 45 years. It's hard to pinpoint exactly when we had it, but it's certainly sometime over the last, say, sort of maybe right before COVID, when we regained stability. And we certainly know when we lost it, and that would have been about 5 decades ago, approximately. And with the anchor of that stability is that Jamaica's debt today, in this fiscal year, we are 7 months in the fiscal year, and by the end of the fiscal year, we're expecting our debt to be in the high 60s, i.e. at 68%. And that will be the lowest since the mid-1970s.
You know what amazes me? You know what amazes me? Is that these people go wow to things that should have been achieved a long time ago. They go wow to fixing the roads and, oh, we did. You're supposed to do it. It is your job. You're getting paid millions. As a matter of fact, now you're really getting paid 200 to 300% increase on your salary. Right? Okay? So even if what he's saying is true, which I do not believe, nothing that comes out of these people's mouth, let's just entertain it. Right? What should we be clapping about? What should we really be clapping about? Aren't you the one that has some responsibility in all the money that has been missing over several different ministries in government? Aren't you the one that signed off on things? You and the Prime Minister, when it comes on to money and distribution? Like, what is going on? You collaborate with all these ministries because you got the money. So all the issues in the ministries, well, hey, indirectly or directly comes to you. So what is all of this kumbaya business? What is all of this? All right, Jamaica is not in a great state, and how I know that is because you keep comparing it to a terrible state that it was in the 70s. Like you saying something, you ain't saying nothing. Hey, y'all better wake the hell up. Stop allowing these people to fool y'all, man, acting like they doing something.
Herself.
You getting paid all this money to do your job and come up here. I'm doing my job, boss. I'm doing my job. I'm doing my job. I'm doing my damn near basic. You should give me a raise because I'm doing my damn near basic. Oh, boss, I took a raise. I didn't ask for it, but I'm still doing the basic. Hey, shut up.
Ability of a new beginning, and one that we must use wisely. We have today, as the Prime Minister mentioned, more sources of people wanting to lend to us than we could possibly take. And it's just
Bro, really? This is what we doing? Oh, we've created a space where everybody just want to lend us money. Oh, yeah, right. All right.
the rule of life. People want to lend to people who don't need money because...
Oh, you don't need money? Jamaica don't need money? Can you explain something to me? How does a country that don't need money have all the issues that it got? If Jamaica don't need money, why you can't pay the teachers and the doctors and the nurses and the police people? They need to get a raise. The damn soldiers, the security guards, why are they not getting paid money where they can live a proper life? Not just pay their bills, but actually grow. Why did the working class have to suffer for the economy to be stable, allegedly stable? According to Andrew Holness. Are you kidding me? Man, yo, I can't wait for this to be done. I got 1 hour, man. I need to end this in like 1 hour and 15. Let's go.
Their chances of being repaid are better. So I want to say to ministers of finance who follow, don't be impressed by the many offers that you're going to get to lend you money. I have had that too. But what we have to work on for the next phase is to ensure that having gotten our debt down, we want to change the composition of that debt from a majority US dollar debt to make it into more Jamaican dollar debt. So though we might be at 68% at the end of the year, we still have 60% of that amount denominated in US dollars, which is a source of risk. Now, because we're in a position where we can demand what we want, my posture has been, everybody want to lend me money. I said, look, you come to me with Jamaican dollars, I'll borrow from you. You can't possibly get all the Jamaican dollars you need in the local market. And so for 4 years in a row, or 5 years in a row, I would say when I go to DC or New York, say to all the bankers who want to do business with us, come to me with a J-dollar deal and you will have a deal.
How many of you guys actually believe that? It sounds good. It sounds good. But in real life, though, Andrew Holness a lot of money. Nah, take money. In real life, though, as a matter of fact, how will that stand with you not being... So we're going to run with that. This is true. How is that going to affect us now that you're gone? Is Andrew Holness going to... Or Favour Williams... being run by Andrew Holness, telling her what to do, is allegedly, is that going to stand, Nigel? Huh, Mr. Clarke? Is that going to stand? I don't believe you. I don't.
And because of that, as the Prime Minister
big up Jatara, big up Jatara,
of a local fund internationally, and I hope
Jotaro, big up. Say Proverbs 6 verse 6. Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise, which having no guide, overseer, or ruler, profiteth her meat in the summer and gathereth her food in the harvest. Amen. Proverbs 6 verse 6, ladies and gentlemen. There is a whole Bible verse, chapter, right, for the ants. Go to the ant, thou sluggard. Consider her ways. Consider her ways and be wise. Which having no guide, overseer, or ruler, provided her meat in the summer and giveth her food in the harvest. Come on, man. Talk to me. Talk to me.
I know that Prime Minister Holness and the team will build on that and we'll have more issues of Jamaican dollar instruments. Now, the important thing, Mr. Speaker, about economic stability, I want to say that there's three important things about it. One is that it's not a panacea. It doesn't solve all of our problems. It can't. But you cannot solve our problems sustainably without it. Economic stability is not anyone's enemy. It is the friend of every noble social and economic objective that you want to sustain over time. But keeping it, Mr. Speaker, is not an inevitability.
This YouTube channel gets 33 million views per month, posting simple AI-generated YouTube shorts, and they only have 11 shorts.
As much success as we have had, the path ahead does not allow for policy error because Jamaica's finances are so rigid and tight. And so, Mr. Speaker, it can be maintained by the choices that we make, and choices that consider today as well as tomorrow, and importantly, choices that leave enough space for public investment. It's only through public investment that we can improve quality of life. This administration, more than any other administration in the recent past, has addressed the income question. If you think about it, first of all, macro income per capita GDP in US dollar terms has gone up from around 5,000 plus US dollars to 7,000 US dollars on a macro basis. You go more granular, the minimum wage in nominal Jamaican dollar terms has gone from 6,200 to 15,000, an increase of 260%. In US dollar terms, an increase of 88%. And adjusted for inflation, an increase in real terms of 56%. So we have addressed and are addressing the income question. We look at NIS. NIS has increased from between 26 and 70, I believe it's in the mid-70s, 75% or thereabouts. We have introduced a social pension and increased it by over 40%. The public sector compensation has increased salaries to public sector workers. We have employed 1.5 and 1.7 thresholds that have increased disposable income.
Yo, you see this employment thing, but then say employment rate gone up. You don't know say employment mean, like say you have, if you do 1 hour for the week, you're employed. That is not employment for me. Alright, so I don't want to hear about no employment rate gone up. Stop the cap. Yeah? I don't want to hear about it no more.
Stop the cap.
Yeah, man.
Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap. No bullshit,
yeah,
bro.
We don't want to hear about no 1 hour a week work. We don't want to hear about that. And apparently, that definition is a global definition. Allegedly. Because when me did look on the website, and I did it on live too. If you guys watch all of my content, you know that I did it on live. I looked up what is the employment. What does employment, what does that mean? What does that stand for? What is the definition of employment? And employment, it is defined at least 1 hour a week. If you work at least 1 hour a week, it's said that you are employed. I was like, what? Huh? 1 hour a week? What 1 hour a week job can sustain any lifestyle that you are living? What? How much them I pay you for the hour? In a Jamaica for you use 1 hour. Come on, man. These people, boy.
So more than any other administration in the recent past, this administration has addressed the income question. But what we have learned is that income, though necessary, is not sufficient. Particularly for a country where many are on low incomes. The only way to sustain, if we focus on income alone, we will not improve quality of life. Because when you are at a...
Please explain to me what you have done that is improve the quality of life of Jamaicans. Please. And Jamaican people, more in our comment section, and tell me what this government has done for you and you have seen tangible increase in your way of living. Listen to this nonsense. I mean, I'm trying to stop it because I want done enough.
Are on low incomes. The only way to sustain, if we focus on income alone, we will not improve quality of life.
Quality of life. Jamaicans, is your quality of life, has it increased? Has it increased? Please explain it to me. Please show me and make examples in the chat of tangible ways how your quality of life has increased since 9 years ago when this government came into power. I want you guys to think about how you was living 9 years ago and how you're living now. Especially if you're not doing anything illegal to acquire your wealth. I'm talking about law-abiding citizens. People who work by the books and do legal things to gain them money. Is your quality of life increased, or are you struggling more than you was 9 years ago? Please explain to me in the comment section.
Because when you are at an income level of $12,000 a week, moving it to $14,000 a week, though a big movement, does not transform a life. What transforms lives are public investments that improve the quality of public services. And which is why I've been such a fervent believer, and I've worked so assiduously on the buses, on the garbage trucks, on the stadium, on the hospitals, on the parks, right? On the fire station, fire trucks.
You're giving too much of a strategy.
Okay, all right. So, Mr. Speaker, let me talk about the past.
No, that part right there is where I do not like politics. Talking about you're giving too much of the strategy. The strategy of what exactly? Your strategy is not reaching the people of Jamaica. And we need to, and shout out to big up to What Can Go So, Mr. Damian Crawford. What can go so? Guys, Damian Crawford gave an example and said, Miss ER, big up. What if you're gonna fight crime and you're gonna do this to fight crime? We need some numbers to find out how much a gang leader they may catch in a 1 year by using this method. And if it's 0 gang leader, we have to go wait the next year to see if a 2 year take to catch 1 gang leader. So the method we use, we have 56 gangs. Them say how much over amount of gangs. Let's use an example. Then if you are gonna take, so we have 50 gangs. If you are gonna take 2 years to catch 1 gang leader using this method, then it not gonna take. It gonna take 100 years to catch you all like gang them. It gonna take 100 years. I want people to understand what I say. Andrew Holness I say no, Zozo wanna lock down this place at any time crime happen. And they say them have how much gang and them want to catch the gang them because of them cause all like crime them in Jamaica. If you use that method there and in a 2 year it take you to catch 1 gang member or 1 gang, like everybody in the gang, you catch them, right? That means say it's gonna take 200 years. It will take 100 years if you catch 50 gang, 50 gang them with Jamaica, because it took you 2 years to catch one of them. 2 times 50 is 100. So when them are going to talk about say them have this financial secret, what can go so the people them is not feeling the effects of your financial genius where you try to show yourself. And I call cap. These are all lies. It's not effective. It's definitely not effective. And that's why I burn me all the PMP step up more than go big up Nigel Clarke. Right? Better only go sit down, brother, Julian or whatever you want name on the next smaddy. Better only go sit down, bro. As some me know, yo, you see UIC right about you know. UIC right about you know. I don't trust you know. I never did. Right? I don't trust you no, brother. I don't trust you no. Me really don't trust you no. I just God me a pray to say God will be done when it comes to this election and what is going on in Jamaica overall. Me just a pray say God's will be done because I don't trust you guys. I really, really don't. You know? Call a spade, man. Zane, me not say I have to be enemy with nobody, but speak it truth, Nigel Clarke has not done a good job. What is this kissing up to Nigel Clarke? Right? He has not done a good job. And the Jamaican people, them, we are the ones and we have feel it, know that. The majority of us know that. So, well, I guess you guys are disengaged because on the day in a parliament, so on out of touch with reality. Maybe that's what it is. Who knows?
I just want to say,
not giving away secrets. Brother, we're supposed to work together for the betterment of Jamaica. Why we not share ideas how to make the country better? It's about how to make the party in a power stay in a party. It's not about the people. And that more the people have really realized. You know? It's not about the people. It's a competition between the two of them. It's a pissing contest. They care about staying in power. All the hear Warmington, Darrell Vaz, Desmond McKenzie, who else? And number 28 come out. Right? It's all about we have worked too hard and we have to stay in power and we will do everything in our power to stay in the third term, even turning the country upside down allegedly. Right? That's all I am hearing. Nothing else. That's all me hear.
Hey, Mr. Speaker, that, and I hope you'll permit me on this occasion, not to be followed by any other occasion, certainly from me, to say that I'm proud to have been a part of an administration and to have led a ministry with a strong record of performance. Mr. Speaker, we have delivered recovery in jobs, recovery in output beyond pre-COVID levels.
No bullshit, bro.
Mr. Speaker, some of the nuggets are the ones that are most interesting. Paternity leave in the public sector is a reality. We have introduced a social pension, and we have had consecutive years of no new taxes.
Bro.
Stop the cap.
Bro.
Stop the cap.
We know so that's a fallacy. Every time they keep saying they don't increase tax and they now have the new tax, stop it, bro. Stop it. All right? Stop the cap.
Prime Minister mentioned the disaster risk insurance, the public sector compensation, the PPP train line of projects, the Kingston Waterfront Park, the governance reforms, the independence of the central bank and the fiscal commission and the fiscal research center, the public investment management process. And importantly, all procurement today is electronically done. So, Mr. Speaker, I thank you.
All procurement is electronically done? All? Hey! Wanna hear that? All procurement is electronically done. Hey, needs. And that them are pushing people. Wanna careful here? Tell us if we wake up now.
I thank the Prime Minister and I thank this Honourable House for the opportunity to have served. I thank the members on the other side for being worthy opponents and for working on behalf of the Jamaican people in holding the government to account. We thank you for doing so, for the most part, in a spirit of collegiality and with, the people don't understand on the outside the underlying friendships that either pre-exist or develop in this chamber.
Oh, people don't understand the underlying friendships outside. So the UIC was right about the two parties. I mean, you guys spend a lot of time together. So one of the day in a parliament, I don't go like una curse on one another out. Is that a fallacy? Is that a game? Very interesting. Cock mouth kill cock.
In closing, Mr. Speaker, in making my departure from not just the playing field, but from the stadium, mixing my metaphors a little bit, I have run through the tape. Some people, you see the finish, your particular finish line, and you ease up. And it's all right, the finish line, we just ease up. People thought that when they heard August 26th, when the announcement come, oh, Nigel, don't ease up. or that you're going to go off on some big holiday for 3 weeks. That is not how the government of Andrew Holness works. We believe in running through the tape and running through the finish line. That's what I've tried to do. So, Mr. Speaker, in the spirit of running through the tape, I just have the 3 updates that I'd like that are relevant. The first is that the Independent Fiscal Commission comes into effect on January 1st, 2025. That was always a timetable. It's a timetable that doesn't change because the minister changes. The commissioner, as the Prime Minister mentioned, was appointed in May of 2023, and it's taken this time for his office to get up to speed. The Fiscal Commission becomes the independent arbiter of Jamaica's fiscal rules, takes over from the Auditor General, and will be, what we have done is to institutionalize our experience.
Takes over from the Auditor General. Hey, very interesting. I will keep an eye on that.
Of having domestic oversight. They'll have a fiscal advisory committee, which similar to what we had in EPOC, and that's going to be chaired by Mr. Keith Duncan. It will have Mrs. Helene Davis White representing union, from the union movement, Ms. Nancy Pinchas from civil society, Dr. Patrice Whiteley from academia, who's head of economics department at UWI, and Mr. Karine Tomlinson from the private sector. He happens to be an executive at Grace Kennedy. The Governor General made these appointments in accordance with the legislative requirements, where there was consultation between myself and the opposition spokesperson on finance. The second update, Mr. Speaker, is to say that the request for applications for an approved integrated resort development order for the parish of St. James is going to be in the newspapers tomorrow. Information will be available on the website, and the process for that integrated resort development will reopen tomorrow, and I expect that you will have some competitive bids. And then the third, Mr. Speaker, update is that the reverse income tax credit, as at Monday, we had 260,976 successful applications. And this week, Mr. Speaker, we're expecting 77,000 Jamaicans to be in receipt of an SMS or an email indicating that their reverse income tax credit will be at their financial institution or remittance agency.
Hey, all I 77,000 down. I want to put hashtag we get the money from Nigel Clarke. Pound social media posts. Yeah, if we don't get the money, we want all 77,000 where they say, I don't trust these people. We want all 77,000 down. We get that money there. Oh, hey, people, want to spread the word, share this live stream. Put the timestamp, alright? Timestamp is 1 hour and 16 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to put the money out there. As a matter of fact, I'm going to screen record this. When we get the money, I want to put, yes, Nigel, we get the money, hashtag. And if we can do a screenshot of the text, the SMS, just for evidence, because you know people will fake it. I want to screenshot it, you don't have to put in the information and we can blur it out. We want to see the text and we want to see the amount. We want to see someone to get the money. Because this government are not like give out money. And if they have anything to do with the money I give out, it will not give out. And it might give out to certain people too. We have feed them people, so I don't trust them. You know, make me know?
No. Mr. Speaker, it's important that everyone doesn't rush to their remittance entity. You have to wait. Only persons who receive the SMS and or the email, and there'll be 77,000 of those this week. The remaining amount of the reverse income tax credit will be paid in November and December. If you go to a remittance company to collect, you have to have a valid government ID, a passport, driver's license, or a voter ID. If you're a person with disability, you can authorize someone to collect with a letter signed by a JP, which has your application reference number, your TRN, the beneficiary ID, and other information. Mr. Speaker, running through the tape. Running through the tape, Mr. Speaker. It's been a privilege and honor of my life, and I thank you, and I thank the Prime Minister. Thank my colleagues.
The man I run from Jamaica and I left in a turmoil and I talk about say, and I go to IMF and sell we out. Hey, clown! House slave! No apology. No apology. Jamaica in a crisis at the stage they and them run just because they want more money after they get too much money already. Yeah, if Andrew Holness could have run from Jamaica too, he would have run too, but it's too highly beneficial as far as we can see, because the amount of bank account him have and the amount of money we acquire as a career politician, he would have never left this a blouse and skirt coat, because him a milk it very, very well. He's working very hard. Very hard. You understand? 2 house slave. Me don't talk. I mean not take back no talk. 2 house slave, 2 clown. We not sit on the screen right now. I want to pick up on yourself. Alright? That is it. That is my time and I'm out of here. Yo, salute to you know. You people that check in and salute to you people that watch the live stream and catch a replay. Wally for respect and manners. You see me? That is it. That's my time. I'm up out of here.